Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 45 for the week of November 6th, 2018. The day to vote. So make sure you fucking do that. My name is Josh, aka JK Fire, and today I'm joined by the man, again, dressed in business cash, Will, aka I am Mr. Mayhem. Will, how are you on this rainy and kind of chilly outside Minnesota Monday?
I'm doing great.
Great?
Yeah.
Wow.
The hockey team win last night.
You guys killed it.
Yeah, it always boosts my spirits. So I'm feeling pretty good today.
You got 2 goals?
I did.
Out of the 7 total of your entire team?
Yeah, and I was involved on like 3 or 4 of them.
You guys did a lot of work.
Yeah, it felt good.
It felt really good being there and seeing that moment when you came up to the glass. You were like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was excited for it. I was really excited. So for those who don't know, who listen to the show, I am on a hockey team, just a adult hockey league in Minnesota here. Last season, we got moved up a division to play a more difficult division, and we didn't win a single game. It was rough. We tied some. We got really close, but we didn't win a single game. It was bad. This year, we went back down to our original division. We are currently 1-1. Won the game Sunday night. It was amazing to get a tally in that win column for the first time in a long time.
And next week's a hat trick.
Oh, we'll see.
It's gonna happen. You gotta believe. Believe, Will. You're gonna get it. I believe.
All right. I'll try.
And then when you don't, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. That's good. I'm glad. It felt so good seeing you not only win, but just be happy.
Yeah. When you lose that for a whole season,
it's like the Browns.
It's you get frustrated. There is kind of no one in the locker room was negative about it, but it's just like, here we go again. You know, like we got to go out there. We're gonna try our best, and our best wasn't good enough so far. It's hard to stay motivated. Yep. Granted, we were really close on a few of those games last year. A lot of overtime games we went to, just couldn't finish. But yeah, this year looks like it's going to be a different story for us. We got to protect our goalie. We got to put the pucks in the net. That's the difference. That's what's going to
sounded like John Madden. We got to protect our goalie. We got to get the pucks in the net.
That's what you got to do. You know,
got to score the points. You got to score the points to win the game.
If your team scores 2 points, they score 1 point, you win. That's
bada bing, bada boom.
Anyway, yeah. My Monday was much better off with a Fighting Loons win.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How has your Monday been?
How's my money?
I'm already stumbling over my words, and we haven't even gotten into RosterMania yet.
Oh my god. My Monday's been going all right. Couple things. One, I voted early. So literally as soon as I got off work today, I went and voted. And if you were able to, please do. Please vote. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then the other thing is, I officially got approved for financial aid for school. So It's pretty fucking official that I'm now back. Feels
in school.
Good. Feels good. Yeah, that's how the Monday went. Work was work, as it usually is, you know. But what are you going to do? We're going to start off not with the typical segment, but instead, a little bit of housekeeping. So, if you did not know, last week, we kind of teased it because we didn't officially know if it was going to be happening, but it's going to be happening, and we already announced it, but we extended it a week. We're extending it another week. And that is the first ever HCS Pro Talk Halloween Community Coloring Contest. Yes, Halloween's past us, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have this coloring contest continue, which we are. Therefore, rules are very simple. All you have to do is print out one of the sheets. There will be a link included in the show notes. Color it, obviously, and then submit the results via Twitter, Facebook, email, Discord, whatever, as long as we get it. And then the winner will be chosen on the next episode. And Will and I along with our significant others, will be participating. We're not going to be able to be voted upon because that'd be unfair. But what's the point of doing it if we're not going to include our submissions as well? So you get to see how terrible of colors we are. And I
don't even know if I have like crayons or anything. We got to have something here.
I got plenty of crayons if you need them.
All right.
Maybe we can have like a coloring play date.
Over at the Kramer household. Adults coloring around the kitchen table.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, the Vikings have a bye this week, so I mean...
That's true.
Yeah, Sunday fun day, like we said before we started recording the show. Coloring. No, but seriously, there's a lot of amazing sheets that are included by Lanky Sasquatch. He did a phenomenal job. They're really funny as well. Take a look. It's in a book, The Reading Rainbow. Color a sheet, submitted in. Will's looking at me like, God damn it. No, but please submit it. It's going to be a great time. Will, that's all I got for housekeeping. What do we normally start the show off with? RosterMania!
Usually we start with some RosterMania, so here we go. Coming out of the LATAM region, we have Shock the World, which again, the squad's forming back up. It's Atso, Drift, Magico, and Noble. We have Team Sirius, which is Mirax, Skyline, Styler, and Undone. We have De Gears a Halo, which is Jeters, A7Ns, Axe-Ans, and I Hicks-Illers. I don't know. I'm trying here. Next we have Team Hey We, which is A79, DeFizz, Randy, and Gil. And we have Team 2K18, which looks like it's Artzer, Mindhunt, Roms EG, and Sick Shot W. We have nothing to report from Australia and the EU, but out of North America, here we go. We have Team Mentality. Some news about them later, but Envor, Jazero, Super CC, and Talik.
That's why we included them, because it's the same roster that was there last week, but there's a very specific reason why they're included in RosterMania.
And then we also have Team In Control, which is Galaxy, Neuronical, Swish, and Vertra. I
think it's just Vetra.
Vetra. I'm throwing in extra R's. Why not?
It's Will's segment. He throws in letters wherever he sees fit. Vetra's Vertra.
Yeah, why not?
Deal with it.
Sorry, Vetra. Vetra is on that team.
Oh my god.
But that's it for RosterMania. That's what we got this week.
Fantastic, Will. You know what it's time for?
What?
COD and other games, watch! But there's nothing to report at this time. Therefore, that does it for COD and other games, watch!
We got no one moving around that we saw this week, so...
Yep, not yet. I'm still waiting on that Renegades roster.
You think some people are...
Well, we
like
already talked about it.
Well, yeah, we did, but haven't we seen anything officially on them?
Not yet, but I'm thinking that after Atlanta... I'm thinking a move's gonna happen. Some little shift is gonna happen. We're gonna see. It's just what I'm thinking. It's just an inside gut feeling, you know? I obviously don't know the insights to anything. Like, I don't know what they're thinking, but just a gut feeling makes me believe that Mickwin may be the most on the fence about the whole thing, but like, the rest of them, I think they're pretty hell-bent on doing it. So,
all right.
We'll just have to wait and see. Will, it's time for the segment where we never actually talk about Halo, but instead, we talk about other games. And I'm just going to watch as you look at the screen waiting for me to intro it in so you could write the timestamp down, because guess what? It's Will's Adventures Within the Haloverse! You're welcome for that.
Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks for drawing that out.
It's like the outro for the show.
A little bit.
Sorry. What have you been playing, Will?
No Halo this week. And I feel like I'm slacking big time.
There's other games out.
There is.
Like, I know we're a Halo esports podcast, but at the same time, it's like, man, there's other games out. There's other fun games out.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Will?
Just Call of Duty Black Ops, doing that blackout mode, and then playing some NHL 19.
Ooh.
So, just
practicing for the game.
I guess so. Maybe that's what gave me my spark to play well.
Reignited.
But yeah, I started a Be a Pro career on NHL 19. And I did the whole you play like 5 games in like a Canadian hockey league.
Okay.
And then you get drafted. I got drafted 2nd overall in the first round by the Carolina Hurricane. So yeah, I'm on that team, and I've only played a couple of preseason games, so nothing too exciting, but it's a different challenge than playing online. I can sit back, I can put music on and just relax and play and not have to go like super try hard with it. So that's kind of what that was. It was just a relaxing gameplay.
And you only play that one person, right? You don't control the whole team at that point?
Right. You only control your one player.
Are you on the ice the whole time, or?
No, so you do take shifts.
Wow, okay.
So when you come off the bench, you can either sit there and watch the game, like actually watch the game from the bench, or you can simulate to your next shift.
That's pretty cool.
It just speeds up the game.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah.
I always kind of wondered how that worked, because like I don't play a lot of sports games, and when I do, it's mainly like I'm playing Madden, and you're obviously controlling the whole team at that point.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What else?
That's it. That's really it. I played Black Ops and NHL 19. It's the only games I touched this week.
Are you still only doing the blackout mode?
Pretty much. I do jump into multiplayer every once in a while if I need that. If the blackout games get drawn out too long, I go a while without seeing someone, because I don't drop at all the hot spots. I try to drop a little bit more remote, get geared up, and then try to pick my fights. But there's games where you could just be chasing the circle the whole time and you don't run into anybody. And then you get shot running in from the circle, and it's like, I didn't even get the chance for an engagement. Maybe I should have moved better coming into the circle, but sometimes you just don't have that chance. Sometimes the zone is coming and you just got to book it.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen until you drop, so.
Yeah. So, but if those games get a little drawn out, then I move into the multiplayer just to get some kills going, and then, yeah, hop back into Blackout usually.
That game feels so good.
It does.
Like, oh man, it feels good.
There's some issues with the Blackout.
Yeah?
Like, the 9-bangs are overpowered.
It's a lot of people. I can understand it. It's a lot of people's concerns. Those things are like, oh man, I mean, you charge it up.
Yeah, if you charge it all the way up.
Yep.
It's like a concussion. If you land it close enough to someone, they said that it can do damage too.
Oh shit, I did not know that.
I was watching that on PC, and that's what some of the competitive PC players were saying.
Wow.
So those things I think are extremely overpowered.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
I think this should be like a one charge. Like, you don't even have the option to charge it up.
Right.
It should just be like a flash grenade. You just toss it. That's it.
Well, they have concussion grenades, though.
Right. Which I think is funny that they have this.
Concussion and the 9-bang?
Yeah.
Like, the 9-bang, I could maybe, like, make it only available in squads. So that way you can get a squad better.
Sure.
Because they're going to be at multiple angles. But, yeah, I think that thing's way overpowered. And then some of the guns, like the cordite, and which is a 9mm weapon, there's a just doesn't do enough damage. There is like a handheld 9mm, like it's like an automatic pistol. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Like maybe the Garrison or something like that, and that does more damage than the cordite does, and they're both like extremely close range weapons. It just doesn't make sense to me that an automatic pistol does more damage than a SMG at that close of range.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So, frustrating at times.
I can understand that. Is that it, Will?
That's all I got. Looks like you've been playing some games too.
I'm playing a few games. I played Black Ops 4 as well. Just a couple multiplayer matches. I still need to get used to that snow map. Not a huge fan of it. Just because the line of sights, that's all it is. There's like too many, in my opinion. But that's because I'm bad, so I need to get better. That's on me. Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm taking it real slow. Like, real slow. I'll do a mission at a time, maybe, and then turn it off. Just taking my leisurely time with it. Forza Horizon 4, kind of a given. So, this... oh, man. So, when I say I'm playing Forza Horizon 4. What I'm really doing is, if you look on Mixer, there's some people out there. So there's a partnership between, I mean, Mixer is a Microsoft product, but there's a partnership between Mixer and Forza Horizon 4, where if you stream there's a, not a currency per se, but like a value that gets larger. It's called influence. Okay. Within the game. If you stream Forza Horizon 4 through Mixer, you gain like 2 times the amount of influence you normally would, or some statistic like that. If you watch a stream of Forza Horizon 4, then you get more influence as well than you would be just playing the game. So what people are literally doing, and myself included, is, hopefully nobody from my work listens to this, I have a tab open because there are a few streamers on Mixer who have 24/7 influence streams of Forza Horizon 4. So I have a tab open on my work computer, and it just sits there. And you consistently get experience. And what that experience equates to is wheel spins in Forza Horizon 4. So when I say I'm playing the game, I turn it on, collect my wheel spins, and then turn it off. That's what I do. That's me playing that video game. To be honest with you, I haven't had a lot of time the past week to play much of anything. That's the shitty part, is that there's been a lot of other things happening at home and whatnot. But, got to get my wheel spins. And then, quickly, Overwatch, been playing a couple multiplayer matches. I just like that game. Flows really well. And then, Halo Master Chief Collection. I played one match yesterday. One. I hopped into Social Slayer. I got Halo 2 on Tombstone, if I'm not mistaken, which is a remake of Halo 1's Hang 'em High. Again, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So, immediately, 2 people on the other team quit. The shitty part, the 2 people that were left were better than 3 out of the 4 players on my team. I'm not going to say I'm the best player in the world because I'm not, but I was better than the 3 people on my team. Can you imagine playing a 4v2 on a big-ass map? It takes forever. Turns out 3 minutes left in the game, the other 2 people quit on their team, we won.
Oh.
And you know what the worst part was? They were ahead by 2.
Really?
Yep. If they would have just stayed in the game and kept killing, they would have won that game.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. A win's a win, but that was the only game I played in Master Chief Collection. That's all I got.
All right.
Should we get into some news, Will?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it up. First up, Castle Wars is back within Halo 5. There's a tweet included in the show notes. Check it out if you're interested. It's a great game mode. Next up, we have the Community Spotlight for November 1st, 2018 by Grim Brother 1. Halo Waypoint article will be included as well in the show notes, as well as everything else we talk about. Then we had some Halo 5 playlist updates that I just added because it was just announced today. And I quote, "We've been monitoring playlist health constantly over the past year and have noticed a few trends worth pointing out. First, our very minimum bar is that at the very least, a solo queuing player can find a match within a reasonable amount of time in any playlist at any time of the day. We consider playlists that don't meet that minimum bar as better fits for rotational lists because while on rotation, they get plenty of players for a brief window. To be clear, most rotationals lose that player base towards the end of their rotations, but for the first 1 to 1.5 weeks, the lists do quite well. There are some exceptions with ranked. We are not as strict with it with FFA because it is still being played competitively, even if the format we use isn't exactly the same. Also, we keep elimination up because it's the only way to finish the breakout commendations. Outside of that, there are a few playlists that are falling below our minimum bar. First, Warzone Assault. Warzone Assault has long been behaving more like a rotational than like a permanent playlist. It has also gone several days at a time without any matches played at all, because the number of players we see trying to play at peak times is not enough to form a complete match. To make it easier to get matches in Warzone Assault, as I mentioned before the weekend, we are going to start running it as a rotational the first weekend of each month. We have noticed in our data that when we take less popular lists and run them periodically instead of permanently, they receive orders of magnitude more players. And then Big Team Battle. For a long period of time, BTB was a solid social playlist and in fact the minimum popularity bar we used to judge whether a list should stay permanent. Lately, however, it has become near impossible to find matches for around half the day. It appears the bulk of players needed to maintain a healthy list now prefer the Super Fiesta variant, leaving only classic BTB enthusiasts still engaged in the original BTB playlist. We feel it would be more beneficial to those who love BTB to be able to have a good experience with it rather than waiting 5 minutes without a match. Our current plans with BTB are as follows. Monitor it as we enter the holiday season. If holiday traffic is enough to keep it alive, we'll leave it up and reconsider its future in January and begin work on a refresh. If BTB can hang on just long enough, we will see how well it does after a refresh before moving it to a rotational. If these both fail, then BTB shouldn't be an exception given how much better every other list has done it as a rotational when it starts behaving this way. And finally, playlist ranks. Here are how they rank in popularity over the last week since we haven't done this in a while. You may notice that BTB is ranked above doubles, but keep in mind that doubles only requires 4 players to start a match. So while BTB is getting more playtime overall, doubles doesn't have the same issues with failures to find a match. So from most popular to least popular, we have Super Fiesta, Slayer, Castle Wars, Big Team Super Fiesta, Heroic Warzone Firefight, I'm surprised that's still up there, Warzone, surprised that's still up there, Quick Play, Infection, Team Arena, SWAT, Legendary Warzone Firefight, Big Team Battle, Ranked Doubles, Mythic Warzone Firefight, Griffball, Free For All, Elimination, Warzone Assault, and Warzone Warlords.
Surprised Free For All so low on that list.
I'm surprised that Quick Play and Team Arena are down on that list.
Yeah, they're in the middle.
Yeah, but when you think about it, with Halo 5's player size in general, we don't have official numbers, so we can't speculate that much. But based off what everyone else is fucking saying, nobody plays this game anymore. There's some people play the game. How about some competitive news, Will? The UGC Halo 3 2v2 qualifier number 5, Mambo number 5, details have been revealed. And I quote, "Good luck to everyone playing in this week's UGC Halo 3 2v2. We've expanded our final Week 5 clash from 32 to 64 teams. There's $1,000 on the line and 22 slots filled already. Don't wait to register." Exciting stuff. And then, Will, we're gonna quickly hit on this because this is gonna be a main thing for our Atlanta pre-show next week. But the groups have been officially announced for HCS Atlanta. So let's go through it. First up, Group A consists of Tox, Accelerate, LTN, and an open bracket team. Group B consists of Splice, Trifecta, Down Under, and an open bracket team. Group C consists of Reciprocity, Straight Rippin', now an EU team, Mentality, and an open bracket team. And finally, Group D consists of Renegades, Elevate, Shock the World, and an open bracket team. Any quick things you wanted to hit on with those groups, Will, before we continue?
They seem, I think they're pretty well balanced this go around.
I think so too. I think Straight Rippin', we'll talk about it next week, but I think Straight Rippin' has a really good chance in the group that they're in to maybe finally have that EU breakout that they've been waiting for. I think they might. We'll see. All right, how about some American Griffball League of America news? Let's get into it. The AGLA FL18 Playoffs and All-Stars posted by Rage. And I quote, "Hey everyone, it's time for an update, and today is all about playoffs and all-star voting. Playoffs and all-stars are both being done slightly differently than usual, but nothing too crazy. All-stars. Just like last season, we've reached out to team captains to nominate 8 players to be on the all-star team for the Fall League 18 season. Unlike previous seasons, however, we've taken the players nominated by the majority of captains and announced them as all-stars prior to public voting. Congrats to the following players who fit this criteria: Crusader, Sabosaurus Rex, KD Skill, Saints the God, Stop Killing Me, and Ace B Silent ND1. The 4 remaining players will be voted in by the popular vote. There'll be a link included. You can cast your vote as well if you've been keeping up with the American Griffball League of America. Next up, playoffs. Like All-Stars, we made a slight adjustment to the playoff format this season. For starters, we have 6 playoff teams this season, and final standings are as follows. First, One Hit Wonders. Second is Bomb Squad. Third is Vanguard. Fourth is No Cap. Fifth is Orphanage of Troubled Teens. Sixth is Legacy. Seventh is NSFW. 8 is Notorious. 9th, Nobility. And 10th, Corrupt. For the first round of playoffs, One Hit Wonders and Bomb Squad have earned byes and await the results from the first round matchups, which are as follows. Vanguard going up against Legacy, and No Cap going up against the Orphanage of Troubled Teens. Vanguard vs. Legacy is yet to be scheduled, but No Cap has already advanced to the second round after defeating the Orphanage of Troubled Teens 2-0. Game links can be found below, which we'll include in the show notes, obviously. Once the other series is concluded, top-seeded One-Hit Wonders will choose who they wish to play of the remaining teams, leaving the other 2 to play each other. We'll provide another update once the first round of playoffs has concluded. Will, that does it for the news! Now, if you wouldn't mind, kind sir, going over some of the scrims that we got going on.
All right. So, yeah, we did have some teams go up against each other here. On Monday, October 29th, Tox took on Reciprocity once more. They always seem to be scrimming against each other.
Well, they're 2 of the top teams.
So here we go.
And Splice ain't fucking scrimming anybody.
Series score was 6-5 going to Tox. So very close.
Okay.
In the games. But let's check out the stat lines.
Do it up.
Reciprocity had 48 more kills, 22 more assists, 44 less deaths, 18 more power kills, 20 more precision kills, and 12 more magnum kills. So again, just reading that, it makes me think Tox is just better map control just throughout the whole game.
I agree. That's what it looks like.
On Tuesday, October 30th, Accelerate went up against Commonly's team. Series score was 13-1 going to Accelerate. On Thursday, November 1st, we had another Reciprocity Tox scrim. Series score 8-7 going to Reciprocity. Here we go, stat lines for this one. Reciprocity had 57 more kills, 33 more assists, 49 less deaths. Both teams were tied in power kills. Reciprocity had 95 more precision kills and 98 more magnum kills. So again, Reciprocity dominating the stat lines. Series was still really close.
They're really, they're Slayer powerhouses. Like, when I look at that, so that first series, I didn't talk about this, but most of the games were pretty fucking close. Like, realistically speaking, there were a few Strongholds games that were not, at all. And I think Tox won them. But, Reciprocity, man, those stat lines don't lie. They gotta close out. It's one of the things that we've talked about week in, week out, that they just don't close out games. And we thought, the last tournament, that, oh man, it looks like they're turning that around. They're actually closing out games. They need to do it more often, but those stat lines, man, they're scary.
If they can keep up the slaying power, I think that may be where they're going wrong, is they're maybe worrying too much about their slays versus positioning an objective.
Yeah, all it takes is one play to make a difference on a map.
Right. So even if you're outslaying your opponent, if they're in better position, it's not going to matter in the long run. Exactly.
And if they're not grabbing those flags or getting those stronghold points or grabbing that oddball while having overslayed, what are you guys doing?
But that's the thing. They could be overslaying and not focusing on.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not picking up the objective. That's what they got to do.
Yep. All right. Moving on. Next, we had Elevate go up against Accelerate. Series score was 8-7. Elevate. In this series, Accelerate had 4 more kills, 2 more assists, and 1 less death. They also had 8 more power kills, 16 more precision kills, and 17 more magnum kills. So Accelerate coming ahead on the stat line, very close. I mean, that is less than, that's...
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's pretty much tied.
Yep, basically.
Accelerate barely pulled ahead in the stat line, but not in the score.
Exactly. But the thing that I like about this, though, yeah, I harp on Reciprocity a lot for not closing out games. Mm-hmm. And I'm a Reciprocity fan. I want to see them succeed. I want to see any team succeed. But the thing that I love about this is that a decent amount of these scrims that we're seeing week in, week out are getting closer. They're getting closer and closer. And I know this is the last Halo 5 event that's coming up, but this could be great for this tournament.
All right, on Friday, November 2nd, Renegades went up against Commonly Team. Series score was 11-3 going to Renegades.
As soon as I say that didn't happen.
We then had Tox go up against Elevate. Series score 9-6 going to Tox.
Happy to see Elevate keep it up, though, in that one. Tox is clearly a 1-2 team. And when you think of Elevate, they're typically a 3-4, even maybe 5-6 team. And them being able to hold their own in that scrim. I know it's only a scrim, but still, that's really good to see, especially with this coming up tournament. Speaking of tournaments, Will, should we get into them?
Let's do it.
Let's do it up. First and foremost, for the first time ever, I went back and got our predictions because I wanted to see how we stacked up. Okay? Turns out, typical Will and Josh fashion, we didn't do so hot. But either way, let's get into it. The Halo Wars Championship League Fall Invitational Finals have taken place, Will. And we got the results for you. First and foremost, let's get into the predictions that we talked about last week and see how we stacked up. So, the loser semifinals is Rock Generation versus El Hex Zero. And we both said that El Hex Zero was going to win this one. Okay. We were wrong. So Rock Generation actually won that match and moved on. Next up, it was the losers finals, which was going to be Scoot Man 2 versus, and now Rock Generation. Will, you said Scoot Man 2. I said El Hex Zero. Obviously, I was wrong. But guess what? So were you. So, Rock Generation actually moved on again. This time, the grand finals, Almirante 99 going up against Rock Generation. Will, we both said that Almirante 99 was going to win this one. And guess what, Will? We were right this time. We got one.
We got him.
We got the grand finals. So, congratulations. First place going to Almirante 99. Second place going to Rock Generation. Bracket and all of the VODs will be included in the show notes. And here is something kind of cool that happened. Rock Generation came from the losers bracket and actually took the first best of 5 against Almirante 99, resetting the bracket. But then Almirante 99 came back and defeated Rock Generation 3-0. So, cool to see a bracket reset, though. That's pretty awesome. All right. Next up, we had the UGC Halo 3 2v2 Showdown. Number 4. The qualifier, number 4. I got it right this time. First place going to the ones who evaded this for quite some time. You'll get the pun in a quick second here. Self-proclaimed took their first qualifier consisting of Evader and Gun Type. There's the pun coming full circle. Second place going to GMS 2S, the people who've normally been in first, Gabriel and Fantasy. Congratulations, you guys as well. Bracket will be included in the show notes. And like I said, after 3 other attempts, Self-proclaimed have finally taken the first place spot.
GG's, guys.
Well deserved. Will, would you like to talk to us about some 2Ks? Please pay attention to the date.
So we have to follow up because this 2K took place the night that we last recorded.
Very true.
So here we go.
Do you remember our predictions for this? I forgot to include him. I said I was going to include. I didn't fucking include him. I'm an idiot.
I think we both picked Tox to win. Or did you say?
Yeah, I said if I was a betting man, I'd put it on Tox.
Yeah.
In my heart, I wanted Reciprocity to win. But either way, take it away. Go ahead.
Here we go. So, NA Game Battles 2K tournament recap from 10/30/18. Here we go. First place did go to Tox, $1,500 and those 2,000 pro points. Second place went to Reciprocity, $500 and 1,200 pro points. In third, fourth, we had Accelerate and Elevate, 800 pro points to them. And in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, we had Lux, Renegades, Mentality, and Dark Triggers. To note, Mikwin was, or Hoaxer was a sub for Mikwin on the Renegade squad for this 2K. All right, moving on to this week's most recent Game Battles tournament. Out of the LATAM region, first place was Shock the World, $350, 2,000 pro points. Second place was Sirius, $150, 1,200 pro points. In third, fourth, we had De Gears, a Halo, and Hey We, 800 pro points to them. And in fifth, we had 2K18 taking home 600 pro points. Out of the Australia and New Zealand region, we didn't see anything happening for a bracket. So not sure if that tournament took place or not.
Fuck if I know.
So, yeah. Out of the EU region, first place went to Panda Express, $750, 2,000 pro points to them. Second place went to Straight Rippin', $250 and 1,200 pro points. And in third, we had Mocket taking home 800 pro points. And those were the only teams that competed.
A whopping 3. LATAM region had more teams compete than the EU region.
That's shocking.
It's like shock the world.
They may have. All right. Moving on to this week's North America. I'm combining my words. My mind is going faster than my mouth can speak, so my mouth just can't keep up. North American Game Battles Tournament for this week. First place went to Tox again. Again, $1,500 and 2,000 pro points. Second place went to Mentality, $500 and 1,200 pro points. Third and fourth went to Renegades and Accelerate. And in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, we have Trifecta, In Control, Reciprocity, and Elevate, taking home 600 pro points. Josh.
Yeah.
You might have to apologize to someone here.
I'm eating my fucking words.
This seems to happen to us constantly.
It happens to me constantly. God, okay. Let me paint a picture here for those who may not remember, or those who may not have listened to the previous episodes where I basically shit on this individual because, well, I basically shit on Accelerate because they dropped Ace. And they picked up Taulik instead. And I'm like, good luck getting far with that squad. And then Taulik got let go from Accelerate and then found a new home on Mentality. Well, guess what? I'm fucking eating my words because they took second place at this 2K. So Taulik and every other member on Mentality, this is me formally apologizing. I'm happy to see you guys there. That's awesome. Prove me the fuck wrong. That's great.
And we always say, like, in Halo, we want to see more competition. We say it all the time. You guys who listen to the show know.
It's very true.
It's just surprising when you see it because there usually is that lock of, okay, here's the top 4 teams. We know who's going to be there every week. And it's great to see Mentality bust through.
Reciprocity and Elevate took 5th through 8th.
Yeah.
Mentality took 2nd.
Yep. And we had Accelerate bust into the top 4.
Exactly. So, like, I'm happy to eat my words on this. And again, Taulik, I saw you followed us on Twitter. So, if you listen to this, please know that, like Will said, we talk about it all the time. We want more competition within the scene. And so, yeah. I straight up apologize. I'm glad to see it happen, and I hope you guys bring the fucking heat to Atlanta. Last Halo 5 tournament. Let's see what you guys got. Alright, Will. Here we go. The big one.
We got some Microsoft Store Halo 3 2v2 tournament results. We're going to struggle through some names. Josh, would you like to take the first region here?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm right here with you, so don't worry. I may be sitting across from you at this table, and I may be here with you physically, but I'm here with you mentally as well. We're on that same wavelength, all right? If you're going to fuck up names, I'm going to fuck up names, all right? We're here together.
All right.
So, first up, we have the international stores. And, okay, I do this every time we talk about these tournaments. I don't want anybody to be upset, but I'm just going to give the little heads up, the disclaimer before we get into it. I do not include stores that had one team compete, because technically you didn't do anything to win. So I'm not going to shout you out. Second, I do not include brackets that state in progress and or not started. You can determine this by going to the website for these tournaments, but those are the brackets I do not include because I don't know if they're finalized. So I apologize if they are finalized, but the website clearly doesn't show it, so I don't know what to put on.
Tell your Microsoft Store to finalize the bracket.
To get their shit together. So first up, we have the International Stores Yorkdale. First place going to Elder Respect, consisting of Moniz and XVW PVW. Oh, and then also, brackets to every single one of these we talk about are going to be included in the show notes, so buckle up, Buttercup. Then we had the Plaza Las Americas. First place going to Light to Moth, consisting of Superior Moth and Gwellinator 23. The West Edmonton store, first place going to Zealous, consisting of Mantis and Psych. The Chinook Center, first place going to Spencer Let Us Down, every time. Consisting of Silos the Villain and Shadow Tobuscus.
So I did some research on Twitter.
Oh no. Did you find out where this name originated from?
So they have a team named Spencer, and he has continuously not shown up to the event for like the last few weeks.
Spencer, what the fuck, man?
So they've had subs.
Let him down every time.
Every time.
What the fuck, Spence? Get in there, bro. Toronto Eaton Center. First place went to Team Rush Hour, consisting of Ref 444 and Unheard Ninjas. And finally, the Metropolis store. First place going to Hectic Guys, consisting of Just Mackin and Wake Up Chief.
All right, out of the Midwest stores. Park Meadows. First place went to Team Rocket, which included Nessie and Partition.
Jesse and James weren't available at the time. Did you seriously not get that reference?
Team Rocket. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Out of the Oak Brook Center store, first place went to the Goons, which was Tyax, Idax, and Hype High. Out of the Oak Park Mall store, first place went to Esports Performance Lab, which included Lumpalicious and Snake Middleton.
Ooh, that's a good name. Ooh, that's a good name. Oh, Lumpalicious. Oh, that's a good name. I respect it.
All right, out of Woodfield Mall, first place went to Last Life, which included Crispy Doo, another great name, and I think it's supposed to be Crazy, but there's a 4 where the A is supposed to be.
I love me a Crispy Doo.
Especially you're craving that caffeine.
Oh man, you
Crack
gotta get
open that Crispy Doo.
Oh, that crispy Mountain Dew right there. That crispy Mountain Dew.
All right. Out of the Beechwood Play store, we had Team Strategical is XL, which included Epic Hacker 69 and Anomaly XL.
Can you imagine, like, if you were just this giant corporation and you get hacked by a person with a username of Epic Hacker 69? I'd start rethinking my business strategy at this point. Holy shit.
All right. Out of the Somerset North store, first place went to Team Meatball, which include Top Ducky and Crossfade. And then lastly, from the Midwest region, the St. Louis Galleria store went to Team Average, which include Faithful Shadow and Young Brisket.
Young Brisket coming back. They're not so average, are they? If they're winning. Next up, we had the Northeast stores, the Christiana Mall. First place going to We Play H2, but they're playing H3 in this tournament, consisting of Bullseye 24 and Telepath. Next up, the Freehold Raceway store. First place went to Reality Check, old name within the scene, consisting of Flamehead and Engage. The Roosevelt Field store. First place going to Warriors, another old name in the scene, consisting of Crazy Boy and Just Inhale. Walden Galleria. First place went to Rank Sinatra, consisting of Birdie and NB5s. Next up, the Destiny store. First place went to PH, consisting of J Mills is Ill and The Prelo. Finally, the King of Prussia Mall store. First place went to Clockwork, consisting of Costa and Evader.
All right. The South stores. Here we go. The Domain store. First place went to Shooters Shoot, which included Workage and Frosted Freeze. Out of the Houston Galleria. Josh started. What are you laughing at over there? You're just cracking up.
When I saw Frosted Freeze, all I could think about was Arnold Schwarzenegger in that Batman movie as Mr. Freeze. That's the only thing I could literally think of. It's so fucking stupid.
There's an insight into Joshua's mind.
It's so stupid. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Out of the Houston Galleria store, first place went to Team Clutch, which included Chillin' and Deathmod 505. I saw tweets about this one as well out of the La Cantera store. First place went to Popeyes, which included Wilkie and Matthias. Apparently there was a lot of teams there.
Yeah.
They had I saw the video of them. They had like the go screens.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet.
It was sick.
Out of the North Park store, first place went to Oh My Mama on My Hood. What?
Another fantastic team name.
What? which included Scrappy and Skaduff. Out of the Woodland store, first place went to Triumph V2, which included Slur Shot and Boogeyman V2.
On that North Park store, I included this little tidbit of information. On My Mama, On My Hood came back from the losers bracket, resetting the champ bracket, and then won the entire tournament as well.
Awesome.
See, that's fucking sweet. I looked at that in the bracket. I'm like, that's awesome. Good job, guys. All right, how about some Southeast stores, Will? First up, we had Lenox Square. First place went to Nighty Mouse, consisting of Mousy 007 and Nighty's TMA. Next up, we had the Florida Mall store. First place went to Geico Gaming, consisting of AOSI and Cyanide. The St. John's Town Center store. First place went to Believe the Hype, another old team name, consisting of Halcyon and Swine Swift. The Mall at Green Hills. First place went to the Tutors, consisting of Halo Tutor and Phil. South Park store. Going on down to South Park, gonna have myself time. Okay. First place went to POH, or Poe, consisting of All That Jelly and Goat Cheese. Oh my god, okay.
Jelly and goat cheese.
Yep,
Let's
all
go.
that jelly and goat cheese. Next up with the University Towns. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Will's losing his shit. Next up, University Town Center. First place went to Falcon Koala, consisting of Pro Falcon 08 and Koala 1515. and finally, the Town Center at Boca Raton. First place went to 561 Dubs, consisting of Corey and Prophet and Missy. Take it away, Will.
All right, out of the West stores, we have Fashion Valley store. First place went to Merciless, which included Devil Dog and Hellraiser. Out of the Bellevue Square store, first place went to Neighborhood Heroes, which was Just Hawk 36 and North Snipes. Out of the Century City store, we had first place going to Insanity, which was Avocado Chief and Avocado Chief 1. Out of the University Village store, first place went to Harry Longlegs. And I guess he may have not had a teammate?
So here's the weird thing. If you look at that bracket, it looks like they went up against another team called Harry Longlegs. But the team that won doesn't have members listed. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
All right, out of the San Francisco Center store, first place went to Instant Kill, which included IK One Shot and It's Steezy. Out of the Fashion Show store, first place went to Wookiee Squad, which included 702 Anxiety and Nightmarians.
Nightmare Reigns.
Nightmare Reigns. There we go. Out of the Chandler Fashion Center, first place went to first place team, which included Hot Shot 200188 and Dirty Pigeon 101. And finally, out of the Scottsdale Fashion Square store, first place went to GG No Re. Too Easy. What a team name. And that included Gory Figment and a Siphon. And that's all we got.
Congratulations to everyone who competed and won. And we're excited to cover the next round of Microsoft Store tournaments, where we continue to butcher more names. All right, Will. With that final tournament rundown taken care of, should we get into the main topic of the show, Will? I think we shall as well.
Let's do it.
So, the topic for this show is the future of HCS Pro Talk. Spoiler alert. We're not going anywhere. We're still going to bring you the show every single week. But there is some things that we need to talk about because, like we talked about last time, the HCS is going into like hibernation for a little while. Okay? The winter's coming. Winter is coming. It's a Game of Thrones reference. And the HCS is going into hibernation, which is a Bears in Nature reference. There you go. You're welcome.
Thanks for that insight.
Any time, Will. It's what I'm here for. So let's just get into it. Will and I talked about this. We were going to have like a sit down session.
Oh yeah, that didn't happen.
It didn't. We meant to like go to Taco Bell or something. I mean, we have it all listed here. We already talked about it, so we have it listed here. So without further ado, Will, should we just get into it?
Sure.
All right, let's do it up. So one of the questions that we were asked is, or one of the questions that we kind of proposed to you guys as in the listener is, what would you rather have us do? Would you rather have us have, like the interview split from the show when we have an interview and they be their own separate episode? Or would you like the episodes longer to include them? Right? So Will and I talked about it, and this is what we've come to. In regards to the episode length, here's what's going to happen. During this off season, where we're not going to have HCS tournaments, nothing like that. Okay. When we have an interview, that is the main topic of that show. We won't have like another main topic. Okay. And then the next week, that main topic will be present along with the community discussion. So it's kind of like we'll give you maybe a little more than a week to respond, I guess you could say. So again, during this lull of an HCS season, if we have an interview, that'll be the main topic. And then the week after will be the normal main topic that we have with community discussion. So we'll give you guys a little more time to respond. But what about when the HCS is thriving? So when we have an interview, it will be split and become a separate episode. Therefore, there would be 2 episodes in that week.
It really all depends on how much we have to cover that week.
True. It's very true.
If we have, tons of tournaments going on, tons of teams changing around,
more leagues pop up.
Yep. We might have to move the interview to a separate episode.
Yes.
Well, I think we both kind of agreed that 3.5 hour is kind of pushing the limit.
Yeah.
A bit.
I think like even at 3 is like, it's pretty large. Large and in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we, it all depends on, what's going on in the community.
Exactly.
So
we'll make it work depending upon the content that's out there. We will make it work. And then also, when we do not have an interview, there will be 1 episode in that week, including the main topic. So like usual. Business as usual. All right, well, let's talk about HCS Atlanta. I know we have our pre-show next week, but this is in regards to the future of the show. And I guess this could be in regards to future tournaments as well, like major ones, so on and so forth, right? So for HCS Atlanta specifically, and then other tournaments moving forward, our plan is to put more of an emphasis on the plays and the players that are made within the tournament. So not to the extent, if you guys have listened for a while, then you know what our world show was last time. We went, now granted, we were both pretty fucking exhausted during that show, but realistically speaking, it was a lot. We went over every series, mainstream and Bravo stream. Every series was talked about that episode. It was long. We were both kind of out of it, and we got through it though, right? And we learned from it. That was the biggest thing, is that it was Worlds. We wanted to do the most we possibly could because it was Worlds. It was the biggest one of the year, So we've learned from it, and this time what we want to do is we're going to be watching. We watch every tournament that happens, regardless. So what our plan is, instead of covering each and every series, we want to highlight specific plays that were made, kind of like the casting and analyst desk already do, but then dive a little bit deeper into those plays, and then also highlight players as well. Just specific things that happen within the tournament. Will, did you have something to add?
No, I'm just excited to highlight because we talk a lot about stats and a lot about who wins what series and what the game totals were, but we really haven't gotten into what plays really made or changed the series.
Yep.
So it's bringing in a new aspect that we really haven't talked about before, and that's always exciting when you have something new and fresh coming in.
Hell yeah. And it's something that like the Shyway does, shout out to you, on his YouTube channel, where he highlights individual like players how they play, so on and so forth, individual plays. And I think we can definitely, because we don't have video representation, but I think we can bring that in talking form as well to the show. And then the other thing I was going to say, oh, fuck. If I can even remember what the fuck I was going to say. Oh, we had a review on iTunes that one of the talking points that this person brought up was, it'd be nice if you guys did more highlights on the players themselves. And I'm like, and I always took that to heart. Like, so that goes to show you, if you guys leave us a review or you leave a comment somewhere, I'm going to read it. Okay. And we're going to pay attention and we're going to implement it the best we can. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to do so. And I'm more than excited for this tournament. It's a little over a week away. That's it. Like the last Halo 5 tournament ever, like the last official Halo 5 tournament ever is taking place in less than 2 weeks. That's huge. It's going to be amazing. All right. And then the last piece about Atlanta and then other major tournaments in the future is we've been asked this. We've talked about this. We're going to try to do something in regards to a viewing/listening party with Atlanta. What this means is we may think about doing a Twitch stream. Maybe not, though, because the analysts already do all that. But instead, what we're thinking about doing is getting everyone into a Discord call, because that way we can moderate and do everything that we need to do in there. It's easy. And then we can all watch it together, and we can talk about those plays that were made, the players, the series, what the analysts are talking about. So we can just shoot the shit as well. It'd be a way for more engagement with you guys. And that's one of the big things that we want as well. And like we said, we've been asked about this previously, and we want to try to implement it. So what better way to do it than now?
And even if we can't make the call work or something happens, I say just be in the Discord and we can talk. We'll make a HCS Atlanta channel, and you can type about the plays, can, talk about whatever's going on in there too, as if, I don't know what we need to do to get all this set up.
It should take like 2 seconds.
We're looking into it, but yeah, we can at least have some form of communication if all else fails. And
you have at least one location where you can get the rec codes.
Yeah.
We'll post them as soon as they come up. Like we said, we're going to be watching the whole weekend. So we're going to try not to miss a beat. But if you're interested in a listening type party for HCS Atlanta, and then we can take this as, I'm glad we're doing it for Atlanta as well, because now we have an opportunity, like if it works out or if it doesn't work out, we can learn from it and we can implement it in different ways moving on in other tournaments. So another way. We've played footsie 3 times.
I'm sorry, Josh.
This show now. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining, Will. No, it's just another way to engage with you guys and to make you guys more a part of the show than you already are. We include the community discussion for all of our weekly topics, which is great, and I love it. You guys are doing an amazing job of it. But I want to include you in as many ways as we possibly can. Because the show is for you. Like, that's the whole point. It's by the community for the community. So that's where I'll leave that. Speaking of community, let's talk about some playdates. So the Podcast Evolved team has reached out to us, and they're looking to see if we can combine forces and create a weekly scheduled community playdate containing both communities. This would mainly be centered around Halo. Okay? Will and I don't play enough Halo as it is, so we might as well do it now. Therefore, here's what the plan is. At this current point in time, here's what the plan is. For the weekly community playdate, if you want to be involved in the Podcast Evolved community playdate, those will more than likely be taking place every Thursday. Times to be determined. If you would like to be a part of our community playdate, those will more than likely be happening every Saturday. Times to be determined. So there you go. Thursdays for Podcast Evolved, Saturdays for HCS Pro Talk, and this way we won't have months in between the times that we do these, and that way it makes it so people don't feel like they have to make sure that they're there for that time. They know that the plan is to have these scheduled, okay? Life gets in the way, so I can't guarantee you anything. But the plan is to hopefully do these every Saturday, makes it so people have more of an opportunity to hop in. These would probably go for like a couple hours every Saturday. Nothing extravagant. But again, it would give more people an opportunity to stop by. And you'd know that they'd be happening hopefully every week. So you wouldn't have to worry about, oh, it's a month online. Oh, I'm going to be at this place at this time. Oh, I'm working, so on and so forth. Maybe you'll have more of an opportunity this time. So that's that. And then also, Will and I want to produce more content on other services. Therefore, we have a Twitch and we have a YouTube, but we don't use them other than the YouTube is used to house episodes for people who don't listen on just a normal podcast service. And it's great, and I'm glad Podbean does that. It's fantastic. But a simple way that we thought we could just produce some quick and simple content is taking those community playdates, those streams, and, well, first and foremost, streaming them. So, Will, I haven't told you this yet, so just giving you a heads up, my plan is to make the graphics for the stream so I can get that taken care of, and that way we can get the streams going. And then we would just take that VOD from the stream and upload it to YouTube. Again, this isn't extravagant right now. Like, we're still two dudes who work full-time jobs and don't have a lot of time and to do all this stuff. So we're going to try to do this with the community playdates. Nice, simple, small chunk of time every Saturday. If hopefully one of us will be able to do it. Then streaming it. Then taking that stream, plopping it on YouTube. Bada bing, bada boom. Sound good, Will?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. And last but not least, we had some community questions take place. We have a few from Lanky Sasquatch. First up, what was the main push for you two starting the podcast? Will, you're the one that brought up the idea, so you take it away.
Yeah. Gosh, well, it's been a while since we talked about
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we started this thing.
It has. Almost a year.
What the push was. So, for those who don't know, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go way back here.
Oh.
If Josh has been a huge Halo fan since he played Halo 1 moving into Halo 2 and 3.
Yeah.
He's always talked about watching the events. He always loved the competitive Halo scene. Josh and I became friends, I would say really good friends, a couple of years ago now. It's been probably, 3 years?
Yeah.
And
feels like it's longer than that, but realistically it's not, is it?
It's only been 3 years.
God damn. We've known each other for a long fucking time, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's always talked about this love of Halo. Josh started streaming on Twitch. I always loved being involved watching his streams. He made me a moderator. I loved just watching and helping him produce content.
God, you're really nice right now. Holy shit.
So, time goes on. Josh ends up not streaming as much, even though I'm sure he misses it.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Life, like you said, life gets in the way. People get busy. As you get older, you'll find streaming every day gets really freaking hard.
Yeah, that challenge was ridiculous.
Yeah, Josh went on a stint where he tried to stream every single day.
For a year. Like, I'm not trying to brag or anything. How far did I get? Do you remember?
Oh, God.
Was it 200 in some days?
Yeah, we were in the 200s.
But it just burnt out. Like,
yeah.
It fucking...
You got to the point where it became more of a chore to push that start button.
It did.
I could tell that by the end.
Oh, it did. By far. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyway, just for me, wanting to start the podcast was combining Josh's knowledge of Halo, my want to learn more about Halo, and just my fact that I love producing things and content and all this, getting a community going. I love it. I'm also kind of a little bit of an audio nerd when it comes to, I have all this equipment set up for us. I enjoy tweaking things and messing with it all the time. It's just what I like doing. So that's how the podcast kind of came about. I mentioned to Josh. I always joked with Josh. I was like, let's start a game store somewhere.
I still want to. I still Lanky. I know you listen. I'm telling you, when Game Crazy left, when Game Crazy was kicked out of that location, the first thing I thought was, I want one so bad in our city, so bad. And Lanky, the person that you pimped out in the Discord for their Extra Life stream, was the manager of that Game Crazy as well. First thing I could think of is, man, I fucking want that store back. I want it back so bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah. So, I always joked about getting stuff started with Josh, and finally I was like, let's do like a Halo show. Let's do like a podcast. And he thought about it for a while, and finally was like, all right. And then we kind of started brainstorming. We're just like, let's do it. Came up with the name, got our microphones all set up. We were just chilling in the basement one night, and we're like, let's order microphones.
Yeah.
We just went on Amazon, got our microphones ordered, and set a plan up, and the podcast.
Our first episode was like 15 minutes.
Yep. It was just announcing what we were.
Yep.
But it was a start.
It was.
And that's how the podcast came about. I guess, Josh, anything to elaborate on?
It's like you said with streaming, it was just about hitting that record button at the very beginning of it all. Now it's like routine, and I love every fucking second of this. This isn't anywhere near as like run me the fuck down to the ground like streaming was at one point in time. No, the thing I'll say is, going off what you were talking about with starting it, I remember Will, again, asking me if we wanted to do this. And to be honest with you, I've always wanted to do something like this, because you're right. I eat, sleep, breathe, shit, Halo, like all the time. Okay. And Will is incredibly knowledgeable, not only with sound and production, but also with sports in general. So him and I used to work at the same place about a year ago now, I would say. Well, no, about 6 months ago now, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And we would always listen to 100.3 The Fan, which is a radio network of sports broadcasts. And like not just sports games, but like commentary and podcasts, so on and so forth about sports. We listen to it every day, every single day. And Will brought it to my attention, and he's like, this is what we could be like. This is what our show could be like. It'd be like a fucking radio show. And I'm like, I'm saying like a lot, but I listen to them every day. And the reason why I did is because it was so engaging. It was such an easy thing to have a conversation between the two people or the three people that were in the room. And they always had their topic to talk about. And it just seemed so seamless. It didn't seem scripted or anything like that, because it wasn't. Right? They had their segments that they talked about, which we do. And they go off the rails a little bit, like we do. And when he brought it up to me like that, I'm like, this will work. This will work.
Before then, every time I brought up the idea of a show, you're like, oh, there's, they have casters for that. They have Yahoo Esports and all this stuff. And I'm
Sure.
like, well, we could do our own thing. And you kind of were always like, no, they have things in that space.
You're right. And then when I looked into it further, I noticed that a couple other people in the space that we're in right now weren't making content for months, including the official HCS Listen In podcast by 343. They hadn't made an episode in a year. And I'm like, well, in basically a year. And it was at that point, when I looked at that, I was like, okay, I'm in. Because obviously I don't want to encroach on somebody's space. And I'm all for doing something different, because that's what our plan was, to do something different. And I think we've done that. I think we have. We are 100%, as I said it before, we focus a lot on community tournaments that are run. I'm constantly looking for more that are out there. Because, yeah, it's cool to talk about the professional players that are out there, and it's awesome to talk to them personally, so on and so forth. But a lot of where they started as amateurs. So being able to cover these amateur players that are coming up when nobody else really is, and maybe seeing them break into that pro space as well, that's huge. And the only thing we want to do is give them an outlet to be shouted out on, you know? And I hope that's what we're able to provide.
I mean, we're getting... and even so, like, I don't see anything for those Halo Wars 2s besides the tweets.
Yeah, post some tweets it out. So shout out to you, Postums, for doing that as well.
But yeah, like, just becoming familiar with the names, like Almirante, like, that would have never stuck with me unless we were, you know, reporting on it constantly. And it's
Mike Beeston.
Mike Beeston, yes.
Yep. We've talked about him multiple times in the Halo Wars scene as well. You're right. Names become recognizable. And they start separating themselves from the pack and start getting bigger and bigger and make it to the pro scene. So yeah, that kind of a classic getting off the rails. That kind of got off the rails for that question, but no, it's how it started. There you go.
So the next question from Lanky Sasquatch: if you have the metrics, he states, are the listen/download numbers where you expect them to be as you approach your year anniversary? For me, I would say they're over what I expected them to be.
Absolutely.
I honestly came into this without expectations. I came into it as, if no one listens to this thing, we're talking Halo at least once a week, talking about the competitive scene. We get to have fun. We get to enjoy ourselves, and we're glad that you guys enjoy it too. So I'm happy with whatever we have.
Do you want me to, taking off from your point there, no, I agree 100%. I had nothing coming into this, because you're right. Any reason, any excuse that I get to talk about competitive Halo or Halo in general, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll talk your goddamn ear off. If you look at my workspace at work, I have 4 Halo posters hung up. I have my E3 camo Funko Pop sitting on my desk. I have my Master Chief air freshener that you got me for my car, Will.
Yes.
I have, because it doesn't smell anymore, but I have that still at my desk. I'm wearing a Halo lanyard with my keys on it. Like I said, and I'm wearing my Envy shirt right now. Like, I love this shit. I really do. And any excuse for me to share this with other people and other like-minded or people who don't necessarily care, like, giving them that perspective, that's what I fucking live for with this. I think it's incredible. Going off what Lanky was asking, the thing that I wanted to say was, and this is like, I think this was one of the first pinnacle moments I've had with this show. Will, I think it was our first iTunes review that we got. Okay. And like, we shouted the person out on the show after that, and I saw it pop up. I read it, and like, I'm not a crier, but I sat back in my chair and I'm like, man, that felt fucking good. And I either texted you or I called you. Didn't I call you immediately after?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told him about the review. He was jazzed. Like, it just felt so good knowing that, and we wouldn't care if people didn't listen, like you said, Will, but the fact that somebody did and took that time to write that review on there. And we always say we want constructive criticism as well. And we've seen that, which is great. That's what we want to see. But seeing that first review pop up, I was like, that's it right there. We made it. That was it for me. And then the second one was when we started hitting a consistent 100 downloads per episode. That was like, I'm like, holy shit. Okay. And that doesn't include other metrics as well. But like, and again, this is trying to gloat. It's hard to talk about this. It's hard to talk about this without sounding pretentious, but it feels incredible knowing that you guys out there listen, enjoy, hopefully enjoy. And if you don't, you'll let us know about it. And it's just great having that outlet.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate every single one who listens to the show, because I honestly thought like I came into it with expecting nothing and thought we were just going to be two guys talking Halo every week to no one and just producing our own show to produce it and have a thing, you know? So yes, when we did get that first review, I was over the moon excited. And, you know, you're right. It is hard to talk about this without sounding pretentious, but it was, he gave us 5 stars. He said, you know, it was great waking up every day and having something about Halo to listen to.
While eating his bowl of cereal or something like that.
Cereal, yep. I'll remember that.
Me too.
I'll remember that for a long time, the first review. And, so yeah, I mean, going back to the metrics and where we expect them to be, I say we're doing
great.
We're doing great compared to what we thought we would do.
Yep.
In relative to other popular podcasts, I mean, we're nowhere near where some of the big podcasts are.
Yeah.
But we never expected that. We expected to be...
We have our niche.
We're small fry in the big game, but we like where we're at.
Exactly. And we're only growing. Every week's a new week. Every episode's a new episode. And it's always an opportunity to grow not only metrics-wise, but grow inside as well. Like thinking about what we do each and every week, how we can better ourselves, how we can better the show. And this is why we constantly say that we want your guys' feedback. We want you to reach out. We want to reach out to you in regards to what you want to see. This is why we proposed this topic for this show. If you had questions for us, we want to know what you want. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you want to know from us. So that's that. Like I said, we do it for you. It sounds fucking stupid saying it a million times over, but it's true. It's what the show is made for.
All right. Question 3. And, we've never really talked about this one because we just kind of bring up ideas as we think of them.
Yeah. But just shove them in.
Josh, are there any new segments you'd like to bring to the show that you've been thinking about? I know this is like a 3-part question, but we'll start with the first one.
Okay. Are there any new segments I'd like to bring to the show? Not, in all honesty, I didn't take enough time to think about this, so off the top of my head, no. Because, yeah, I don't fucking know, man. What do you got? Do you have something?
One.
Oh, what do you got?
One popped in my head during this episode because I had nothing beforehand.
Oh, shit, okay.
But I would like to do a player spotlight segment where we say, Frosty BB. Age, you know, this is where he's from. This is what his career has been. And maybe that's when we reach out to him, maybe not do a full hour interview, but just say, hey, would you mind
hitting on these few points?
We're doing a segment about you on our show. If that's all right, would you mind answering these short questions? And we just ask him some random questions. It could be about Halo. It could be, hey, what's your favorite food? You know, you don't know, but you just get some information on Frosty and we put it in the show.
The return of the caster match.
Yeah, who's there? But
that's a great idea. Holy shit.
Yeah, that just popped in my head this episode. So that's something we might look into and go for in the future. And that might be even more important once Infinite fires up. And we could also do another one like a Where Are They Now segment when Frosty and Splice is competing in COD and just see how they're doing in their other games coming from Halo.
We'll be like the entertainment network. The Where Are They Now?
Where are they now?
They're like fucking drug addicts or in prison.
Oh no.
Frosty, I'm just fucking with you. I know you're not going to do that. No, I think that's a great idea. And something that just popped in my head since you were talking about that. I have an idea for a segment.
Oh, Josh, you got one.
Hashtag bring back T2.
It's every week.
He's going to get you fragging like a pro.
Oh boy.
All over again. I'm just fucking with you. No, I think that idea is great. I love that idea. I think it's great. And you know what? Let's leave it open to the people who help us with this show anyway. The listeners. What segments would you guys like to see? If any. What segments would you guys like to see expanded? Or God forbid, which segments would you like to see cut?
Which timestamp do you skip over every week? It's probably Will's Adventures within the Haloverse.
No, it's like COD and Other Games Watch. Because I'm just fucking around. Okay.
Right. So are there any you thought were too weird to have on the show, but wish you could have or would have tried them out? I don't think there's any that we've really like just haven't done or.
No, I think the only one that we changed realistically was the Will's Adventures Within the Haloverse, because it was basically created to force Will to play Halo every week, but then that didn't work. And I'm like, I don't want to remove this segment because there's going to come a time where you play Halo. So instead, what I see, okay, Will, I'm just going to be fucking flat out with you and tell you what's going on in my noggin over here. Okay. So I don't think I ever told you this. The reason why I never removed that segment, the reason why it's always there, and the reason why it's still called Will's Adventures Within the Haloverse, okay, is because I get 100% that we are a Halo esports podcast, okay? But part of my mind is also like, what about other video game podcasts that I listen to do I enjoy? One of those things is them talking about the other games that they're playing. Okay. So I thought about that and I'm like, we don't need to talk about it forever, but maybe people are interested in other games that are out there that maybe they didn't know about, or maybe they're just interested in what we're playing. Right. And so, because if you haven't noticed, when we start talking about Call of Duty, we talk about it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because there's things changing. There's exciting things there. It's a new game. It's fun, so on and so forth. And I just thought about that as a way to kind of take things that I've seen, heard, learned from other gaming podcasts and try to implement it a little bit within our show while not going full bore being an every games podcast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So have there been other segments that I think we should have tried including that didn't work, so on and so forth? No. Because usually we just shove them the fuck in there and see what happens.
Kind of what has happened.
Yeah.
Is
like with COD and Other Games Watch.
Yeah.
It became a segment because so many people that week were making that transition, have announced that they were making that transition. And I'm like, how can we talk about this? Because this isn't technically RosterMania.
Yeah.
And this isn't technically a topic in itself. So how do we... Fuck it, I'll just make it a 2-minute thing.
Yep. And we had to throw in other games because we saw players like Spartan going towards Rainbow Six.
Yep, and someone's moving to Gears. Who the fuck was it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Damn it. Someone's moving to Gears, though. I remember that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows, if we don't see anything for the next week or two, more than likely we'll just drop this segment. But I want to see what happens after Atlanta. I want to see...
Yeah, there might be more information after that's the final event, and
exactly.
Other players might be like, okay, this is what I'm doing now.
Exactly. Anything else? Any segments that you think? Anything come to mind?
Nothing that's been weird or out there that we've thought of. I feel like most of our brainstorming sessions usually result in a segment or something coming within the show.
Yep.
And we don't have these brainstorming sessions very often anymore.
No.
You know, we're almost a year in.
We are. I like where we're at, though.
Yeah, I like what we got.
And I think, like we've said previously, with Atlanta right around the corner, this is a really good time to experiment with a couple things for tournaments, with the listening party, with the focusing on the players and the plays, because then we can take what works and what doesn't work and go into the next quote-unquote season of our show, right? Because we're coming up on a year anniversary. Like, we could think about something cool to do for the year. But yeah, we're still new. If you think about that, I know we're like 45 weeks in, but we're still not that old in the space.
Right. Relatively speaking, I mean, Halo's been around for years and years, and we're not even at mark. We're not even at the first mark yet.
No, we're not.
So, I mean, yeah, we are still newbies in the space. We're constantly learning and evolving.
Exactly.
So,
only way to go is up.
Anything else you'd like to add to the, I guess, discussion on our podcast?
I have one last question, real quick. So, Shane Glass on Twitter asks, or more than likely states, you guys should cover PBL.
We
We want to.
We tried.
Yes. So we're not going to get into it here. All I'm going to say is this. Shane, I replied to you on Twitter. You heard what we had to say. If you listen to the show, things happened. You can listen to that episode if you want to know more about that. That's where I'll leave that. I would be more than happy to cover them next season. I would love to. Things just need to change in order for that to happen. And as soon as we see those things change, we'll readdress that situation. But until that happens, no. That's it. Will, is there anything else you'd like to talk about for the future of HCS Pro Talk?
I'm just excited to see what comes after HCS Atlanta. What's going to be covered in the space.
They still have more announcements too.
They said they had more announcements at Atlanta, which I'm interested to see. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping it's going to be information on insider programs and flights for Infinite. I'm hoping it's still really soon, so that's kind of a reach, but one can hope, right? One can hope, and I'm gonna be hoping for some Infinite news.
Is that a Halo Reach pun?
It wasn't intended, but if you want to take it that way, sure.
You looked at me and I thought that's what you meant, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Yeah, okay. I hear you.
So that's
awesome.
Do you have any speculation on what you think their news is going to be at Atlanta?
No.
No idea?
No fucking idea. I do think it's too early for Infinite news, but I mean, I think it'd be cool because they said they want to put more backing behind grassroots events. So maybe they'll put a highlight on upcoming grassroots events that are going on.
I mean, if it is Microsoft is 343. 343 is Microsoft.
Yep.
So maybe they are going to start highlighting these Microsoft Store events.
That'd be pretty fucking cool. I mean, you can already win a year of fucking Game Pass.
Yeah, which is a pretty damn good deal.
That's huge.
For a free Halo tournament.
Yep. That's huge.
I still think, I think Josh should teach me the ways of Halo 3, and we should try to compete in one of these tournaments.
There's one next month.
And get whooped by
Floppy?
Veronica and Floppy.
We're coming for you.
That's not going to happen.
You guys are going to fucking destroy us. But you know what? Fuck it. Should we say that that's one of our goals? Next month there's going to be a tournament. The brackets are already up, if I'm not mistaken, or like the events are already up on their page.
The sign up is already up.
So we can do it.
We could. I'd have to learn a lot.
It would give you an excuse
to play Halo 3
and be included in Will's adventures within the Haloverse, playing actual Halo.
We could have updates on my progress.
That could be an extra segment.
Oh boy.
I'm just kidding. It'd be included in Will's adventures.
Yeah.
But it'd actually be the segment it was destined to be.
Granted, I haven't been playing any story mode of Halo 4 or 5. That's where I've been kind of stuck.
You heard it from onset. Fuck it. You don't need to play them anyway. I mean, I still think you should, but whatever.
I will play them at some point.
Oh, I don't doubt it. We'll play through them together.
That's okay. Goal number 1. We're going to train. We're going to Rocky Balboa it, running and jogging through the streets while you're quizzing me on Halo 3.
Oh my God.
Just kidding. But yeah,
what's the best Halo 3 map?
I can't name one.
There's only one right answer. Don't fuck this up, Will. You have to know a Halo 3 map, don't you?
The Truth remake, the one from I don't know what the name is.
Heretic?
Sure.
No. It's Construct.
Okay.
Everybody else is going to say something. We already went over favorite maps and whatnot. My favorite map is Construct.
Whatever you say.
That's besides the point.
We won't get to pick the maps when we play.
Who is Master Chief's partner in crime?
Cortana? What?
I mean, it's going to say the Arbiter, but sure. Fuck it. And give me Cortana as well.
Why not? I'm not saying actual.
Oh my God.
And we have derailed.
I'm quizzing you on Halo 3.
I meant on like the actual.
What's the name of the song that plays when you're on the level of the Covenant and you're going when you're past the
I don't know.
So
I have no idea.
You get in the Scorpion tank or the Warthog or whatever you want to do, and you're going through and you get the Hornets and you're going to the last tower. What's the song that plays in that area?
No idea.
It's Behold a Pale Horse. Moving on, Will. Best song in the fucking game, by the way. So, Will, it's time for some shoutouts. First and foremost, we want to shout out Matty Rums for continually providing the brackets for the UGC and MLG 2Ks. Thank you, sir. Next up, shout out to Halo Data Hive for continually providing statistics for every series. You're amazing. And finally, shout out to everyone in the Discord. And I'm going to include Twitter on there too. And I'm going to include YouTube on there too. And I'm going to include Facebook on there too. And I'm going to include, I don't know what other fucking social medias we have that people comment on, but we're going to include you too for providing meaningful and constructive discussion. So thank you very much for that. Will, what do we got for some community creations?
All right, we have Dreams, A Farewell to Halo 5 by High Tech Redneck. Little YouTube video there. Go check it out.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
As Josh says, it's great.
It's great.
We also have CalgaryHalo.com by Silos. Josh, do you want to elaborate on this one?
It's his website for Calgary Halo. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna misstate that all the time. Calgary Halo. Calgary Halo. It's for everything that's going on there. It's
Awesome.
great.
Go check it out.
Go check it out.
And of course, the one we can't forget about, Meme Monday on Reddit. Go check it out. There's always good stuff over there. It's going to be there every week.
It's poppin'. It's poppin'. It's poppin'.
Oh no.
It's poppin'.
We got Josh going.
What you know about me? What you know about me?
This episode has gone on too long.
Will!
Yeah.
Does that do it for community creations?
So what we got for the week.
Hey, Will, guess what?
Yeah? What?
We've reached that time. A time where I sit here in this chair, you sit in your chair. And I speak into this microphone. There's a little spit on there. I'm going to wipe that off a little bit. You might hear that in the mic, but it's okay. We're here together. We've went through the whole thing. We went through RosterMania. What a great segment that was. You remember that segment? Will?
Yeah. just a little bit ago.
I remember that segment. I remember we talked about what the future of the show is going to be and how we talk about how sometimes we go on a rant for a little bit. You know, we derail the conversation for quite some time, and Will's nodding his head at me right now as we wait for the segment where I ask him quite politely to plug the show, Will.
You can find us on your favorite podcast services. Just search for HCS Pro Talk. We're on Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, and Spotify. We're on others as well. Please leave us a review and let others know about the show.
Like Pocket Casts. We're not sponsored, but man, I fucking love that app.
Josh is a fan of Pocket Cast.
I am.
All right. Join our Discord. Join the community discussion. We have a lot of great talk going on over there. Tons of competitive Halo stuff, just life stuff. It's great. Join the Discord if you're looking to get into that potential voice chat for HCS Atlanta. We'll have more info on that next week. We'll iron out some details here. Join our Xbox Club if you would like to join future community playdates, as we are trying to get them going weekly. That's where you'll receive your party and game invite. We do have our Spartan company over on HaloWaypoint.com. Search for HCS Pro Talk there. We have very few members, so if you want that extra armor, you're not going to get it with us.
I fucking love when you talk about our Spartan company. You make it sound so fucking pointless, because it is.
At this point, kind of is. You can find us on social media. Search for HCS Pro Talk on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Most of our discussion comes on Twitter and our Discord, I would say. Josh was at Seattle for Worlds.
I was.
There's some pictures on that Instagram from Worlds, so if you're interested.
That's basically it, though.
That's basically it, because we haven't done since. So, we're not big photographers. Instagram doesn't get flooded by us.
It's okay. I will say this, though. If you do leave a comment on, the YouTube videos or on Facebook or whatnot, we read them as well. So don't feel afraid to do so.
Yeah. What's on the next episode, Josh? Great
question, Will. Let me tell you about it. First and foremost, we have our HCS Atlanta pre-show. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait. A couple big old episodes coming your way. Hot! In the next couple weeks. And then we have the Halloween Community Coloring Contest results. Will, hope you're excited to get your coloring on. It's going to be a great time.
There was a channel created in the Discord for coloring submissions. And yeah, if you want to leave us post your coloring submission on Twitter and just make sure to @HCS Pro Talk so that we can see it. Any comments on the YouTube and the Facebooks we'll be looking at as well. So yeah, get your submissions in, have fun with it. There's some great drawings out there. I'm excited.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
It's time for a late show shout out. You don't need to use the soundbite if you don't want to. I just hit the mic again. I'm so sorry. That was fucking hilarious. Shout out to Lanky Sasquatch one more time for creating these awesome coloring sheets. They're great. I can't wait to utilize them as well. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Well, that's going to do it for episode 45 HCS Pro Talk. I want to thank you very much for listening to the Showdown.
What are you doing?
We're going to catch you next week for the HCS Atlanta pre-show. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait to see you then. But until then, bye-bye.